Then his cheating was exposed.
He was still involved with Claudia.
She reached out to me, came to find out that, yeah, he was lying to the both of us.
Couldn't you tell who he was?
Yeah, I fell for the sweet nothings.
This is Judge Judy.
Randa Ramia is suing her ex-boyfriend, Adrian Astorga, for unpaid loans to help his business.
Judge, this is case number 26 on the calendar in the matter of Ramia versus Astorga. Both parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Mr. Astorga, I'm going to start with you. How did you hurt your arm?
Work accident. I broke in a work accident.
When?
2 weeks ago.
What kind of work?
Tree work.
You fell off a tree?
No, a log. We were rigging and it came back and hit my arm.
You have children. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
11 and 2.
And what's their mother's first name?
Claudia.
If you have 2 children who are 11 and 2, Claudia and the 2 children's, their parents are the same. So you and Claudia have 2 children.
No, it's 2 different.
So you have 2 children with 2 different ladies.
Yes.
What is the 2-year-old's mother's name?
Claudia.
And what is the 11-year-old's mother's name?
Andrea.
Which one do you live with now?
Claudia. Years.
Did you start living together while she was pregnant or before?
While she was pregnant.
You lived with her during the child's birth?
Yes.
And continuously until now?
Yes.
So I'd like you to explain to me, sir, how you managed Miss Ramea. Explain that to me.
I used to work for her dad.
Well, that doesn't make you funny. That makes you an idiot. I mean, it's not funny. You used to work for her father in what?
Carpet cleaning.
And when did you stop working for him in carpet cleaning?
About a month after I started.
And what did you start to do then?
Got into the tree service.
When did you start seeing the plaintiff socially?
We've been on and off.
For how long?
I want to say 4 or 5 years, if not more.
So you started to work for her father while you were dating her?
No, we weren't dating. I met her working for the dad, but I didn't know that she was the daughter of the owner.
So when you say you've been dating on and off for 4 or 5 years, did you ever live together?
No.
Did you ever stay at her home for a period of more than 3 days?
No.
Is that correct?
We moved in together last year, September.
September of 2019? Where did you move in together?
Into an apartment.
Did you both sign the lease?
No, it was my apartment. He moved in with me. I had already had a lease.
Let's deal with it. He moved in with you in September of 2019.
Correct.
Was he there on a full-time basis?
Yes.
7 days a week?
Yes.
Your lawsuit is about money that you allege he owes you as a result of using your credit cards to start a business in July of this year.
That's correct. And that was for the insurance.
That's in this year.
Yes.
At that time, he had, according to you, been living with you continuously since September 2019.
That's correct.
And he used your credit card. That's what this is all about. He used your credit card, and he bought a whole bunch of things for his business. He thinks this is all funny. I have to tell you something, sir. She may see what is appealing about you. Me, not so much.
Okay.
Now, at some point, you found out that he was still involved with Claudia.
Correct.
Tell me how you found out he was still involved with Claudia.
Well, she reached out to me.
And when?
I want to say in May of this year.
How did she reach out to you?
She sent me a letter by Yelp.
Do you have it?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Well, I have a text message where she's asking me to meet with her in person.
I would like to see the letter she sent to you.
Sure. Let me find it. I'm sorry. You think it's okay to contact my fiance? What kind of woman are you going after someone involved in our relationship? Do I really have to keep going?
Yes.
When he was living with you, we were still together. He used your car to come to my house. You have to email him to talk to him. Does that tell you something is up? You're stupid. When he made you wait at Starbucks and left you there because he was on the phone with me, you want him so badly, you can have him. Get something straight. You will never be first. I'm dumping his cheating, but you will never take my place. He will never love you. You're just some chick he's trying to use to pass time. You will never take my place.
Okay. So then you met her in person.
Yes.
Now, what had Prince Charming told you about his relationship with Claudia?
He was keeping
You knew he had a child.
Yeah. He was keeping it civil between the two of them because he didn't want chaos with the fact that he wanted to spend time with his kid. He felt that if she knew about our relationship, she would probably hold the child from him spending time with him.
So that's the reason he gave you for not introducing you to the child?
Yeah.
I assume.
Well, I met the kid.
Where?
We took him to a pumpkin patch.
When? That must have been
Halloween.
sometime in the fall of...
Around Halloween.
So he was about a year old then?
About, yeah.
Too young to tell the story.
Right.
Right. You started to say that you made an appointment to meet Claudia.
No,
I just want to know what kind of a nasty guy he is. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Then we talked about it, and it came to find out that, yeah, he was lying to the both of us.
Right. Does he ever see his 11-year-old child?
Yes.
Is that a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Does he have visitation with that child?
I believe so.
Did you ever meet that child?
No.
Do you know why he left your father's business?
So that he can go into the tree business, because carpet cleaning really wasn't what he wanted to do.
Wasn't his dream job.
Correct.
Doing trees and breaking his arm is his dream job.
I guess it's a lucrative business.
I'd like you to tell me, according to you, he moved in with you in September of 2019, and he lived with you.
Yes.
There had to be some periods of time that he lived with Claudia.
Funny enough is that I didn't really know that they lived together until me and her actually met. And she had told me that there was moments that they were living together.
You mean periods of time when he wouldn't come home, that there would be a reason that he wouldn't come?
No, he came home every day.
He can't be sleeping in...
No, he came
can't
home
be
every day.
sleeping in two places.
He came home every day.
He did?
Yeah.
Well, then, is Claudia missing a few? She didn't realize he wasn't there for almost a year and a half?
Well, while he was living with me, he wasn't living with Claudia. Claudia was living with her mother. And apparently, from what she understood, is that he was living with a coworker, and I was just a sister.
Is that what you told her?
No.
Sir?
No.
No. Well, house.
I wasn't living with her.
To Claudia.
I was living with Claudia.
You weren't living with her. You were living with Claudia. So she's psychotic. Is that
A little
what-
bit.
Now, how did you get possession of her credit card?
I didn't. She made payment. Yeah.
What?
I didn't.
You have to be very careful. Yeah, so you never charged anything on her credit card?
Not physically.
Is what you're
no.
saying?
Yes.
What do you mean not physically? You
Yeah,
mean
I've never used
emotionally?
the card.
You tried,
I've never
you
used the
charged,
card.
You've never bought anything for yourself using her credit card?
No, I didn't.
Explain how that happened.
Well, I have evidence.
Yes.
I mean, I can show you.
Well, how did he
I
use
handed the credit
your
card.
credit card?
I handed the credit card into his hand. That's how he got the credit card. But
When?
Well, the first
When?
time was in April. That was for the insurance for his company that I have here.
And how much was that for?
That one was for $3,100, and then there was
Okay, it's just
Go ahead.
explain that to me. $3,100 for your insurance. Explain it.
She paid it
It was
using.
paid by her credit card.
Yeah, by her.
Well, how did you do that? You said to her, this is my insurance payment.
Yeah.
Can you pay it with your credit card?
Right. I mean, at
Now,
that
I want you to tell me how it
at
happened.
that time, I was short on money, and she insisted to pay for it, and I told her I.
No, not insistent. I want physically, not emotionally.
Your question is.
My question is, how did the insurance get paid? Did you hand her
She paid for it. She
the
paid
bill? No. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, I didn't.
Did you hand her the bill?
No, she made the payment herself using her card.
How could she do that? She took out a crystal ball and said, "This is about what the insurance payment is."
She
and I'm gonna figure out where.
She processed the payment online using her credit card.
How did she know to whom to make the payment? Follow my words. How did she know to whom to make the payment?
Because she knows. We talk. She was insisting to pay as an investment to our relationship.
Of course it was. How did she know the name to whom to make the payment?
The company name?
Yes, the company name.
I mean, she knows it, but she knows everything about. We talk, so she knows the name of the company. She knows everything.
How did she know the amount?
Well, when the payment comes up on the tells you how much to pay, it tells you right there how much to pay. She paid that amount.
No, it wouldn't come up on her machine because it wasn't her business.
Yeah, she did it.
It would come up.
She paid. Yeah, she did. She went online to a state compensation.
What an idiot.
I hear you.
You have to hear me. I mean, if I had a little more time, or if I was not as nice a person as I am, it would be my joy to continue to torture him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
There was a collision with the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
You wanted a parking space that badly. You jumped in front of him, nasty, but you found a parking space, and instead of looking and making sure, you threw your car into reverse so that you could make the turn and get the space. Nasty.
Randa Ramia says ex-boyfriend Adrian Astorga owes for credit card charges she made on behalf of his business.
Now, if I had a little more time, or if I was not as nice a person as I am, it would be my joy to continue to torture him. But tape is very expensive, and CBS doesn't like to pay for tape just to see me humiliate somebody. I mean, couldn't you tell who he was?
Yeah, I fell for the sweet nothings.
No, you fell for it.
I fell for the sweet nothings.
If you fell for it, my dear, you have to pay for it, because there's no question in my mind that this wasn't a loan.
No, it wasn't
There's
a loan.
no question in my mind that this wasn't a loan.
This was a loan.
No way.
No, this was a loan.
No.
And he was paying me back. I have it here. He started it back in March. He paid me back $500. It was an absolute loan. In July, he paid me $900. I even have an email where I was actually trying to figure it out, because right before we broke up, he had 2 jobs lined up, and he had agreed that he was going to pay me $1,000 from that money.
That's great. If you had a loan agreement, I would say I would take a look at it.
Well,
I'm making a ruling now. Listen, if women want to be stupid and give men money.
No, it's not. It wasn't about being stupid or giving anybody money.
They've been stupid forever. You gave him money because you figured you were going to be together. That's why you gave him money. It was his business. He left your father because it wasn't something that he wanted to do. He didn't want to be in the carpet cleaning business.
We weren't dating at that time.
In the tree business. Yeah. Goodbye. We're done. Thank you. Your case is dismissed. We're done. Bye.
This case is concluded. Parties may step out.
It was definitely a loan.
Shaggy said it wasn't me.
He was paying me back. It wasn't me just giving him money.
To be at 2 places at the same time.
I tried. I sent him 4 emails, and I never got anything back, so.
It was a gift.
I'm not a priority. He was probably going to pay me back at some point.
It's a future investment in the relationship.
It's just not pertinent.
Don't do it again.
All parties in the matter of Jimenez versus Robles. Approach the podium, please.
Eric Jimenez is suing accident in a shopping center parking lot.
This was an auto accident that occurred on the 22nd of July of this year. Is that correct, Mr. Jimenez?
That's correct.
And from what I gather from both your complaint and Ms. Robles, from your answer, you were both looking for a parking space in a parking lot.
Right.
Right. What kind of car were you driving, Mr. Jimenez?
I was driving a 2014 Honda Civic EX, 4-door.
And what kind of car were you driving, Ms. Robles?
It's a 2001 Chrysler Town & Country.
So it's a big car.
Right.
Now, on the 22nd of July of this year, Mr. Jimenez, did you have automobile insurance on your car?
I did.
That was in effect?
I did.
Now, Ms. Robles, on the 22nd of July of this year, did you have automobile insurance that was in effect?
Yes, I do.
That's a yes or a no?
Yes.
With what company?
With Fred Lawyers Insurance.
You have those papers to show me that you had insurance coverage on the 22nd?
Yes.
I'd like to see them. Now, Mr. Jimenez, did you try to contact Ms. Robles' insurance company?
I did.
Can you tell me what happened when you tried to contact her insurance company?
Judge,
Her rear lights come up, and it looks like she floored it, and she was heading towards my car, and that's when I started honking. I even put my window down to, trying to stop. But obviously she didn't see me, and she hit my front fender.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Jimenez says fellow motorist Melinda Robles backed into him in a shopping center parking lot.
Now, can you tell me what happened when you tried to contact her insurance company?
Yes, ma'am. I actually contacted my insurance first, but unfortunately, because the damages didn't exceed my deductible, which was $1,000, my company said that it's better to call her company, Fred Lawyers Insurance.
Well, tell them.
Right. So I called.
I gathered that.
I called her insurance company, and I went ahead and gave my statements to the representative from her company. And about 2 weeks after the initial call, her adjuster called me and said, due to the fact that Ms. Robles had stated to them that she wasn't at fault, her adjuster stated, we're going to take our client's word and we're going to decline your damages.
Fine. Okay. The reason I'm asking that question is because it seems to me the damages, as you indicate in your complaint, was set a car.
That's correct.
And so you were out of pocket that $719.
That's
I
correct.
just wanted to make certain that we're not here because somebody didn't have insurance on that day.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you were looking for a parking space.
That's
on the
correct.
22nd. About what time, Mr. Jimenez?
I would have to say around noon, 12 o'clock.
And when you saw the defendant for the first time, can you tell me where she was?
When I seen her for the first time, she cut me off abruptly.
She came around you.
Correct, to get a parking spot. Yes, ma'am.
She came around you.
That's
so
correct.
you're both going relatively slowly in a parking lot. And the first time you saw her, she went around and got in front of you.
That's correct.
And then what happened?
She went in front of me to get a parking spot, but due to the fact that there was another car facing us, she didn't know, but that
Coming
car...
from the opposite direction.
Correct. That car took that parking spot. So neither her
So
nor I
scooted
got
into
it.
that parking spot.
Correct.
So now she's in front of you.
That's correct.
And then what happened?
So she started making a right turn into another parking aisle, still an aisle.
An aisle, not a spot.
Nope, an aisle. As soon as she turned right, I was right behind her. There was a stop sign. I looked both ways, make sure I had a clear sign. I continued to make the same right she made, and as I was making a right, it looks like she floored it, and she was heading towards me to my car, and that's when I started honking. I even put my window down to start, trying to stop. But obviously she didn't see me, and she hit my front fender.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, Mr. Jimenez,
Yes, ma'am.
would I be correct that when you got out of the car and she got out of the car,
Right.
was there a parking space available
Yes.
after she made the right turn?
Yes.
Yes, well, that's what she says.
Right.
That there was a parking space available.
Right.
That's what you said in your answer.
Yes.
Is that right, Ms. Robles?
Yes.
And so what you did, according to you, was since you had a very big car, you needed to make a wider turn.
Right.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's not what you say. That's what I'm saying. But you needed to make a wider turn. And in order to do that, you had to back up your car a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. And when you backed up your car a little bit, there was a collision with the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Well, you have to pay him $719. That badly. You jumped in front of him, nasty, but you found a parking space, and instead of looking and making sure, you threw your car into reverse so that you could make the turn and get the space. Nasty. Cost you $719. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
Ma'am,
Thank
Judge,
you.
I'm also suing for lost
Yeah,
wages.
you also.
I'm
I
also
saw
suing
that.
for lost
We're
wages.
done. 700. I heard you. I heard you. I'm ignoring you.
Copy.
$719. Got it?
Got it.
Copy. Perfect. Thank you.
Concluded. Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy...
Both checks bounced.
Yes.
Can you not say the word bounced?
They were bounced. You knew that there were insufficient funds. Do you know that's a felony?
Judge Judy.
I think she's seen through the lies that Ms. Robles was trying to, cop out.
He did tell lies. I was in the right of way because I was going first.
Not really a sense of urgency. It's just that I had to go to work.
And then he was coming out of a thing, gonna make a right turn. So
Due to the pandemic that was going on, I had to make sure I was stocked up on toilet paper and essential things that I needed to get.
he even told me he seen me backing up. But my question is, why didn't you back up as well if you know I didn't hear you?
And I needed to get my groceries done ASAP. So,
Yeah.
wow, she started laughing uncontrollably.
No, I've never laughed. I'm not that type of person. I was more scared because I didn't know
And it kind of threw me off.
what was gonna happen. I'm not like that.
I'm glad that once again Judge Judy saw through her, through the lies that she was trying to put.
And now I could just get on with my life now.
And now I'm glad everything worked out for both of us.
An ex-husband's breakdown.
His car needed to be repaired.
It was going to cost an arm and a leg.
An ex-wife's rescue.
I gave him the money and he got it fixed.
Sounds like a very friendly divorce.
Well, we were friendly then.
Now, does she want her money
Everything started going downhill once she found out I had a girlfriend.
or revenge?
I think you're pulling my leg, Ms. Fernandez. I think that this is a judicial leg pulling.
This is Judge Judy. Clarice Fernandez is suing her ex-husband, Manuel Fernandez, for unpaid loans and his portion of their children's school supplies and Christmas gifts.
Your Honor, this is case number 28 on the calendar in the matter of Fernandez versus Fernandez. Both parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Ms. Fernandez, you and Mr. Fernandez had been married. Mr. Fernandez had another child, and after your separation, you kept custody of both children.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yes.
And you were divorced in February of 2019.
Correct.
Your claim has several parts to it. I'm advising you I'm only entertaining one of those claims. You have a claim for participation in Christmas presents, in school supplies, and in clothes for the children after the divorce. Now, you have a judgment of divorce that provides for support for the child that is his?
Yes.
Is he currently paying that order of support?
Yes.
Is the amount that he is paying an amount that was agreed to by the two of you by stipulation or agreement in the divorce?
We agreed when we divorced.
Good. Then the part of your claim that I will hear, Ms. Fernandez, is your claim of a loan. And that you said was a loan that took place in October after the divorce that you made to him. You want to tell me about that loan?
His car needed to be repaired, so he wanted to borrow money for that, and I let him borrow money for that.
Well, this was a car that he had
Right,
when you
correct.
divorced?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Chevy Trailblazer SUV.
Was that purchased during the marriage?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, so tell me how he...
Well, when we went to Vegas and the whole...
Just a second. You went to Vegas. What date?
It was in September 2019.
September 20th. You went to Vegas. Did the children go with you?
The children went.
So the four of you went to Vegas.
Yes.
Where did you stay?
In the Tahitian Resort and Village in Vegas.
And you used the Chevy because it was a larger car to travel in?
Yes.
Is that why you used the older car?
Yes.
Had you been on long trips with that car before?
Yes.
When immediately prior to this trip in September did you use that car? Over the summer?
Yes. Every year we take the kids to Knoxbury Farm, so we took them maybe in June or July to Knoxbury Farm.
Sounds like a very friendly divorce.
Well, we were friendly then.
It sounds like a very friendly divorce.
Okay, you can say it's that.
Okay, so now the car has problems shortly after the trip that the family took to Vegas?
Well,
Tell me about this alleged
It actually
loan.
broke down when we were there. And we took it to a place, and I forgot what it needed to be fixed, but whatever it was going to be a lot, like the alternator, or I don't know, he probably knows what it's called. But it was going to take like 10 days, and we couldn't stay that long. So the guy told us just leave early, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and drive slow. And it should be fine till we made it back to San Diego, so that's what we did. And then when we came back, he needed money to get...
You came back with the children.
He just asked me if I had money or I could put on my credit card for him. I told him that I can...
Well, who paid for the hotel when you were away in Vegas?
I think I put it on my
hotel?
card, but he agreed to pay me money for that as well.
Well, did he?
No.
Well, Miss Fernandez, I think you're pulling my leg, Miss Fernandez. I think that this is a judicial leg pulling. So you don't think he paid you back from putting the hotel on your credit card. But you're not suing him for that. You're suing him for Christmas presents.
Well, I'm suing him for...
School supplies in September, and money that you put on your credit card to have a car fixed that you and the family all use. Where do you live, Mr. Fernandez?
In El Cajon, California.
And who do you live with?
My girlfriend.
And when did you start to have this girlfriend?
2013.
What month? Just a sec. Don't speak.
I'm not good with dates, but I'm pretty much sure what she just said, 2013. That's when everything started going downhill once she found out I had a girlfriend.
Well, when do you think she found out you had a girlfriend?
Actually, she found out this year, maybe about like 5 months ago.
2020?
2020, yes.
How did she find out?
From my young daughter.
Now, when you went away together to Vegas or to Knott's Berry Farms, she didn't have that information. Is that what you're telling me?
For about almost a year, I kept it a secret.
I don't think it was a year. I think he was out of the house August 1st, 2018, and then I never knew where he lived after that. So it's 2 years in August.
Well, when you went away with him on these family vacations, didn't you ask him where he was living?
He told me he was living with his brother.
And you believed him?
I believed him.
Yeah. So now let's get back to this loan to have the car fixed. I'm waiting. You have to tell me about a contract.
We didn't have a contract. He signed a little, like a little receipt that I gave him because I wanted to make sure he was going to pay me the money back.
I'd like to see that.
That's the bottom.
I don't know what that is.
It's a receipt, and it just says that I gave him a loan.
I see that it's a receipt. Tell me about signing this receipt. Did you sign a receipt from her?
To be honest, Judge, I don't remember signing a receipt.
What I'd like you to do is, Officer Bird's going to give you a piece of paper. I'd like you to sign your name.
Okay.
He didn't sign it, he initialed it. Sometimes
Hey, don't speak. Sign your name, sir.
Would you like me to sign it or initial it?
Yeah, I would like you to do both. Would you put it up there? Thank you. Yeah, he never signed that. He never signed that. That's not anything that he signed. You want to tell me, sir, your version of this money for the repair of your car?
I do recall the repair. It was a long trip that weekend. We went to Knott's Berry Farm, and then we also took the kids to Las Vegas. Going up there, I felt the transmission skipping gears, so I told my ex-wife, is there something wrong with the SUV? Once we get to Las Vegas, we was going to get it checked out. Once I determined that it was a transmission and it was going to cost an arm and a leg, and we just didn't have the money at the time, we did drive it back to San Diego. When we did get back to San Diego, I did ask Miss Clarice if she can help me pay for the SUV. She did agree on it, and I just assumed that I already paid my portion for that transmission. And
how did you do that?
I actually took it out my credit card.
Well, show me.
I don't have no receipt.
And I need a bill for the transmission.
The receipt that she just showed you, that's from the transmission place.
No, it isn't. What's the name of the place that did the transmission work?
Dean.
What's the name of the place that... Just a second. Miss Fernandez, what's the name of the place that did the transmission work?
I didn't take the car. I didn't get the receipt for it. I gave him the money, and he did it. So I don't know where the place was. All I know is I gave him the money, and he got it fixed.
What's the name of...
This is Jesus Transmission, and it was in Spring Valley, California. And it took over almost like 4 weeks. I just don't have the I did not bring the receipt with me, ma'am.
Well, we can get that. Jesus Transmission? Is that the name of the place?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken your car there before?
No, ma'am. A mechanic at my job recommended that place for me.
Was it a big place or a small place?
It's a small place, ma'am.
Jesus Transmissions?
Yes, ma'am. That's the sign that was on the gate.
And where are they located? In what city?
It was in Spring Valley, California.
Okay. Now, Miss Fernandez, where did you get the $1,500 from?
From my bank.
Do you have a bank statement?
No. I didn't print my bank statement.
Well, why don't we get one? Just to show me where you withdrew $1,500. That would be a good idea to have, right?
Right.
Because that happened in October of 2019, right?
Right.
Great. And what bank was that you took the money out of?
It's either Navy Federal or San Diego County Credit Union.
Oh, that's easy enough to get. Why don't we recall this case and you get that for me?
Okay.
Okay? All I need is the page from either bank which indicates that in October of 2019, you withdrew at one time $1,500. And I will assume that once you have that, that is what you gave to Mr. Fernandez. Thank you. Bye.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
Did I miss something? Did I see either one of those two dogs attacking a goat on that video?
That's my gate, and they are walking back.
I see them, but I didn't see them attacking anything.
But I have evidence of that.
Well, show me.
In a case recalled from earlier today, Clarice Fernandez claims ex-husband Manuel Fernandez owes for loans to have his vehicle repaired.
Judge, this is recall of case number 28 in the matter of Fernandez versus Fernandez. Parties are reminded you're still under oath.
Thank you, Bird. Miss Fernandez, you were going to produce for me a statement that in October you made a withdrawal for $1,500.
I couldn't find it. I think it was from my Capital One. I don't use the card anymore. The card's been closed, so I wasn't able to get that information.
Well, then I can't help you.
Okay.
Because I'm having some veracity issues.
Okay.
So
well, it seems like you don't want to help me anyways.
No, I do want to help you if you have.
No, you don't want to.
You
don't want to hear the other things that we agreed upon. So that's what I was bringing him to court for, not just a loan.
No, I don't. You have a judgment pursuant to that judgment of divorce with regard to payments to you that, according to you, he was living up to. and he is paying child support. So courts don't do that. They don't get involved in, I will pay for half the pencils and half the writing paper and half the books and a Christmas present if you buy. We don't do that. We'd be in business 24/7. Now, if there was a legitimate loan between you and your ex-husband with whom you clearly vacationed with your children after your divorce, I don't know what else. But clearly, at least according to you, on 2 occasions subsequent to the divorce, went away on extended vacations where you all stayed together. So it sort of tests veracity that there was a loan of $1,500 that you can produce nothing but a receipt that clearly he did not sign.
He did sign it.
No, I say he didn't sign it.
Okay, you can say whatever you want. That'll make it true.
Okay. All I asked you for was to get a statement that you withdrew $1,500, and then I can determine if I believe it was a loan or 2 people who were still involved after a 20-year relationship, and you were away on a holiday with your children and the car broke down. So if you cannot produce that document, you can go back to small claims court once you produce that document.
And they'll take care of it, and I'll get what I'm supposed to get.
And I'm sure that somebody else will when they have the proper proof of the $1,500. So you can have this tape. We'll entertain the rest of your case. We're finished. Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I agreed to the lower child support because he was going to help me with our son.
I haven't missed a payment since she took me to court.
Which he has not done.
Everything is on time. Child support, spousal support, so.
And then we agreed that he was going to pay for his daughter's expenses because his daughter lives with me.
She could say what she wants to say, but the payment is there.
She lives with me and I don't get money from him for her.
Ever since she found out about the girlfriend.
Once I realized he had a girlfriend, that's when
things kind of like went downhill between us.
He doesn't want to pay me what he needs to pay me.
Just want to be good parents to the kids and see my kids when I can.
I'll see him back in court.
All parties in the matter of Carrasco Tapia versus Cruz. Step to the podium, please.
Stephanie Carrasco Tapia is suing her neighbor, Eva Cruz, for vet bills and the cost of 2 goats she claims were attacked and killed by Eva's dogs.
Ms. Tapia, do you live in a rural area?
Yes.
Do you live in a home?
Yes.
And in the backyard you keep goats?
Yes.
Is it a fenced backyard?
Yes.
How many?
So 1 baby.
Is it the 2 females that were injured?
Yeah.
And it is your claim that dogs owned by the defendant injured those 2 goats? Ultimately, they died as a result of the wounds that they had.
Yes.
Ms. Cruz says that the dogs were not hers.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
But she's not responsible for her dogs.
No, she's responsible for her dogs. Your job is to prove to me that your goats were injured by a dog, as opposed to being injured by a coyote or by something else that could walk into your fence.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Carrasco Tapia is suing her neighbor, Eva Cruz, for vet bills and the cost of 2 goats she claims were attacked and killed by Eva's dogs.
Now, how long have the 2 of you been neighbors?
2 years.
Does she live right next door to you?
Not next, but she lives in the corner of my street.
When were your goats injured?
In June 8th of 2020.
Now I'd like to see the proof that you have. First, that they were injured by dogs, and then we'll get to the fact that they were injured by her dogs. So I'd like to see what proof you have.
I had a video which
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the video?
Yes, that's correct. You can see the both dogs. The both. Yeah. It's a shepherd and people.
So this is a gate that you can walk right through. Did I miss something? Did I see either one of those 2 dogs attacking a goat on that video?
No, the video don't show that.
Did I miss something?
But they...
No.
No, don't show that, but that's my gate.
No, show them sitting down.
That's my gate, and they are walking back, like outside. They get into my property, and then you can see, like, walking out of my property.
I see them, but I didn't see them attacking anything.
But I have evidence of that.
Well, show me. Show me. I didn't see. There's no evidence that they attacked. Just a second.
I had a picture.
Ms. Tapia, there's no evidence on that video that the two dogs, whether they were hers or not, attacked anything on your property. And you don't have a fence all around your property. They didn't knock down a fence. They walked through the fence.
Okay, so...
And then I saw one of them sit down, and one of them was sort of coming out. But at no time were these dogs behaving aggressively. The dogs behaved in any way aggressively towards your goats.
Okay, so you can see the time and the date when the dogs get into my property, and that happened in June 8. And I took my goats to a hospital in June 8, the same day
June
like
8th?
the video. Yes.
Okay, but so far I didn't see dogs attacking your goats. I didn't see these two dogs attacking your goats. So I don't care what the hospital said so far. I need proof how your goats were injured.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, I need proof that your goats were injured by the defendant's dogs. She says they weren't even her dogs, but I need proof that they were injured by any dogs, as opposed to being injured by a coyote or by a jackal or by something else that could walk into your fence. These dogs did not appear aggressive when they walked into your backyard. So I'm asking you, what proof do you have that I can see?
I don't have the video when they was attacked from her dogs because I don't have cameras.
Well, I don't know that they were,
like
Miss Tapia, I don't know. And if you have no proof that I can rely on that your goats were attacked by her dogs, this video doesn't show that. This video shows actually rather two docile dogs, whether they were hers or whether they weren't hers, whether she just fed them or not. But you didn't see it. And she, I assume, was sleeping also at 3 o'clock.
But
and
she's
the dogs
not...
didn't appear to do any damage.
But she's not responsible for her dogs, and also...
No, she's responsible for her dogs. Your job is to prove to me that your goats were injured by a dog. I didn't see any evidence in this, and you acknowledge that there's no evidence here to show me any aggressive behavior by those dogs. I don't doubt that your goats were injured. What I'm saying to you is that you have no proof that the defendant is responsible for it, because no proof that they were injured by a dog as opposed to something else. Anything could get into your yard because it really wasn't a totally fenced yard. It was open. Is that the extent of your evidence, that your goats were injured by dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. Then your case is dismissed, Ms. Tapia.
Excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
My neighbor told me that he saw the dogs frequently.
I mean, there was no proof that the dogs actually attacked her animals.
Walking in the front of my house.
I did see them, but it wasn't her house. It was the neighbor's house.
And his house. And actually, one day...
The pets were not mine. They were rescued. They came to my house. I fed them and gave them water.
Her dogs trying to attack him.
I like animals. So...
yeah, I bring them to the hospital.
I said, bring me a bill and let me know if you need some help. I have friends that could help you.
Well, they give me a medicine, but they died after.
Yeah, I don't know her, but yes, I don't know where she lives. I never knew her address.
No more ghosts for now, yeah.
But yes, anyway, I do want to be a good neighbor.
You owe him $3,950.
No, I don't.
The virus held up her security deposit.
I missed the walkthrough because I had COVID symptoms.
Your Honor, he didn't even let us know.
It's irrelevant to this case that you had COVID.
Now a landlord holds nothing back.
You want me to go to a walkthrough and infect somebody with COVID?
Send your mother, send your father, send...
This is Judge Judy. Michelle Spaulding is suing her former landlord, Kirk Wilterding, for the return of her security deposit.
Justice case number 113 on the calendar in the matter of Spaulding versus Wilterding. Parties have been sworn in.
Ms. Spaulding, your case is a relatively simple one. It is your claim that the defendant owes you your security deposit back. You and your family rented a house from him.
That is correct.
He gave you a 60-day notice. You did, in fact, move out. and he retained $3,950 of your security.
That is correct.
So far correct? Okay, so Mr. Wilterding, I'm going to start with you, sir. The Spaldings rented your house. They gave you in security deposit $3,950,
Correct.
which you know you're supposed to keep segregated in a separate account. Do you know that?
I do know that, and it was
That's
segregated.
a yes? Good. And you can prove that to me if I needed it.
Sure.
Sure.
Yes.
In what bank did you keep it segregated?
I have it in a separate account that's one of my LLCs, not a personal account.
What LLC do you have there?
Just my account.
$3,950.
My account. And I actually sent them a copy because they asked for it.
Then I'm just asking you, why can't you tell me what bank you have? They're $3,950. Proceed a little further. According to you, you had a girlfriend, you were moving to California, you lived in your house for a couple of years, then you moved with your girlfriend, then COVID struck, and you decided you wanted to move home. They were already living in the house, you gave them a 60-day notice. That's what you wrote in your answer and swore to. Do you remember that?
Correct.
Good. And they did, in fact, move out. And you made a date to come with them as a result of your 60-day notice. You made a date to do a walkthrough with them before they left, which is what people do when they have a rental property so that the people are moving out, say, this is what the place looks like, and you have an opportunity to look at and say, this is my damage, and I'm going to deduct that from your security deposit. You don't have to put anything anywhere. You weren't feeling well on the day of the walkthrough. That's what you wrote, correct?
Correct.
And according to you, you lost your sense of smell because you had COVID.
What does that have to do with the walkthrough?
Well, it has to do with the walkthrough, sir, because you say by the time you entered the house and regained your sense of smell, that's what it has to do with it. You said,
I didn't say
that
any
in your
of that.
answer.
You're just making that up. I didn't say any of that.
Okay.
I missed.
Really?
If you would
Okay.
like me to explain,
Just a sec.
I missed. If I can
No,
explain.
I'm just looking at it. I may, just a second. I may answer. You said, due to COVID-19, I decided to move back into my house. I gave them a 60-day notice, and they complied. Michelle asked for her deposit back on the day they moved out. I told her she had to wait for damage checks, but you already had a date for a walkthrough that you didn't go to. I started feeling ill, so I missed their walkthrough. That's your sworn statement, sir. I have your signature on it.
It says nothing about smell.
Soon after that, I moved back into my house. I got COVID-19. Following my doctor's instructions, I quarantined until I felt better. It took a full month before I was symptom-free. That's what you wrote. When I finally got my sense of smell back, I knew I wasn't crazy. I can't make that up.
30 days later?
The smell of dog was obvious. The smell of dog was obvious, and I needed to change the carpet and pad. That's what you swore to in your answer, sir, right?
I missed the walkthrough because I had COVID symptoms. You can see I have a letter from my doctor, so I did not want to infect them. I didn't say that I didn't have smell.
I don't care.
And that's what...
No, just a second. You said...
30 days later.
You just said, I don't care, sir. You owe $3,950.
No, I don't.
You missed the walkthrough.
There's more to the story. I missed the walkthrough because I was sick. I had COVID. So you want me to go to
somebody in your place.
Your Honor, he didn't even let us know.
Send your girlfriend. So just a second.
I didn't have anybody available. It's a 2-hour drive. I have nobody available. I have nobody.
Send your mother.
No one.
Send
my
your
mother.
father.
My mother lives in
friend.
Minnesota.
Hey, listen to me, sir. You're full of baloney because you lived in that house according to you
if you
for
would like
2
to,
years.
I came a long way. If you'd like to actually hear the story, and I have evidence, why don't you let me talk?
Listen to me. It's irrelevant to this case that you had COVID. It is totally irrelevant to this case.
Why do I wear a mask then? We're not supposed to infect people. We're supposed to quarantine. Really? So Judge Judy says nobody has to quarantine.
No. How many times have you had COVID?
No.
I've had it twice.
No. Shh. No. Listen to me, sir. Listen to me. Don't talk over me. I wouldn't suggest.
Well, you're not letting me talk. Why am I here? You're not letting me talk. Why am I here? Why am I here?
You're here to pay $3,950
I'm not. This is
judgment for the plaintiff. That's it. Out. We're done.
This case has been concluded. Parties are excused.
I'm honestly just happy that the truth came out. He clearly showed his true colors.
Because my whole house smells like dog. My brand new house, 2,800 square feet of carpet, smells like dog.
And that was my total interaction with him the entire time that we were his tenants.
They had it cleaned. They put perfume on the carpet and have 2,800 square feet of dog carpet. It's $6,500 to fix. So their measly deposit doesn't even cover it.
I'm glad I'm done with this nightmare and I don't have to deal with him anymore.
All parties in the matter of Roberts versus Patton. Step to the podium.
Charles Roberts is suing Bryn Patton for the return or value of a dirt bike.
Mr. Patton, I'm going to start with you, sir. Mr. Roberts had a non-running dirt bike, and you own a mechanic shop, and he asked you sometime last year if you could get the bike up and running.
Correct,
So far, correct?
Correct.
So I want you to understand that Mr. Roberts, who I haven't spoken to yet, looks like a reasonably intelligent man. And you came out and you looked at the bike for the purposes of giving him an estimate as to how much it would cost to get this non-running dirt bike up and running. So far, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you did, in fact, give him an estimate of what you thought, because you're the professional, of what you thought it would take to get the bike up and running. Correct?
After we went through it, Your Honor, and diagnosed everything and did a complete workup on it.
No, at the house, before you took possession of the bike, he asked you for an estimate.
Which we cannot provide.
Did you at his house for?
Actually, we just went to pick it up to get it going for him.
Okay, great, great. So you went and picked it up. On what date did you pick it up? Do you recall, Mr. Patton?
I don't recall the exact date, no, ma'am.
Do you recall the month?
April or May of
Mr.
last.
Roberts, just give me the month that he picked up the bike.
It's unclear and it's not documented. I believe it was March or April.
Say it was March in your papers.
That's my best recollection, Your Honor.
March of 2020. Okay, so you picked up the bike, Mr. Patton, according to you, and you took it back to your shop for a diagnosis and an estimate of what it would cost to fix it. And you didn't keep that estimate to yourself because you're in business. So you relayed that estimate to Mr. Roberts. What did you tell him it would cost to fix the bike after you diagnosed it? No, I don't want to hear the word basically or like or about. Now you took the bike back to your shop.
We were given the instructions to complete.
I'm giving you a question, sir, and what I suggest you do is a believable answer. If you don't, I assume you have family who are among the 9 or 10 million people who watch this program every day. I said to you at the beginning, Mr. Roberts is or my car into a mechanic to be repaired, and they said I have to do a diagnostic. And they took the car to do a diagnostic. Then they communicate with me as to what it will cost to fix it after they've done the diagnostic. So don't give me a lot of who shot John.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, I'm not believing you.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm telling you the honest truth.
Your answer belies credulity, sir. Don't look slick to me, sir. I can tell slick. Don't think of what I'm saying to you.
And later today.
I loaned her $1,000. The night that the big fight went down, that she wound up leaving my house, she gave me $500 that night before she left.
Tell me how that happened.
She went out to her car, got the $500, came and handed it to me.
Is that the way it happened?
Charles Roberts says mechanic Bryn Patton owes for the return or value of a dirt bike. Bryn is countersuing for a repair bill and storage fees.
What I'm asking you, sir, is after the diagnostic, what estimate did you give them?
We were given an order to fix the bike and get it running so that it was in proper running condition.
Just a second.
Okay.
Now, I'm not believing you.
Okay.
Mr. Patton, I'm not believing you, sir.
Well, unfortunately, I'm telling you the honest truth.
Your answer belies credulity, sir. It belies credulity.
Well,
Somebody had a non-working dirt bike and said, as you're quoted in your answer, whatever it costs to fix it, fix it. So now, since I don't believe you, I'm going to ask you a couple of other questions, because that's what this case is about. He wants his bike back, and you have a ridiculous counterclaim. Now, is the bike currently, don't look slick to me, sir, I can tell slick. Don't think of what I'm saying to you. Is the bike currently running?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it currently in your shop?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, are you getting an appearance fee for coming to this program today?
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
To be honest, I do not recall. This is the third time this has happened, and each time things have been very different. So with the COVID, things have...
Fine. So you don't know. Whatever it is, you know it's something,
That's right.
Okay, good. So nothing better happened to this bike because they're going to hold whatever that appearance fee is until we make this exchange and we have a running dirt bike. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Great. It'll be between $300 and $400. Okay, that's a good guesstimate. You know, that never is what it is. You never get charged exactly the top end of an estimate.
Right.
What you say to me is, in your complaint, is that in July, so we had March, April, May, June, now in July, Brian texted me, which you have, that the cost of the repairs had increased and would be $580. Do you recall texting him that figure, sir?
I texted
Mr.
many
Patton.
times. Oh, wait.
No.
Sorry, I apologize.
Do you recall texting him that the bill, which originally you said would be maybe between 3 and 4, is now $580 in August? Do you recall saying that to him?
Yes.
Okay. We'll take a look at that text.
Here's the text. August 21st, he says, $580 plus tax.
Plus tax on parts. So say the repairs was $600.
Fair enough.
Right? Say repairs was $600, but he said, I think I have a buyer. Forget any other deal. $600 with the repairs then. And according to Mr. Patton's answer, Mr. Patton, I want you to listen carefully. You said I had the bike fixed within a few weeks. So that was a completed figure. That's what the figure was. $600. Which was twice the lowest estimate that I believe that you gave him, but a couple of $100 more than the highest estimate. And according to you, you said to him, I kept asking Charles to pick up his property and pay his bill. He kept making excuses. When I told him it would cost $1,500, he complained. Why would it cost $1,500?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
we were arguing, and I was being told that I'm not thankful for anything that he does.
You were arguing. I want to know if you went out voluntarily and gave him $500 towards the $1,000 loan.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charles Roberts says mechanic Bryn Patton owes for the return or value of a dirt bike. Bryn is countersuing for a repair bill and storage fees.
Now, why would it cost $1,500?
I don't recall why I don't know how that conversation even occurred. I don't recall it.
You don't recall telling him?
Charging him $1,500? I do not recall that. No, ma'am.
Did the person who wanted to buy the bike, because I'm looking at that text message, Mr. Patton, did the person who wanted to buy the bike, was that your son?
He's my son, yes.
Okay, and then he decided not to buy it.
Correct.
Did he use it?
No.
Did he ever ride it?
Yes.
How many times? Once or more than once?
During the
once or more than?
More than once.
More than 10 times?
No. And it's just not my
Between
son.
5 and 10
we have technicians that ride it as we repair things. They have to be test ridden.
No, I'm talking just about your son, sir, not about the technicians, just your son.
Oh, no, he only rode it one time, the first time that he was going to ride it. He wanted to see if he was going to buy it or not.
Okay, very good. All right, it's a relatively easy case, Mr. Roberts. You see, you didn't have to say anything. You have to give him $600. When you give him $600 and go and retrieve your bike, you can do that with a marshal. The bike will be in perfect running order because that's what Mr. Patton says. It's in perfect running order, and there are things that we will hold hostage in order to make sure that you get that bike in good running order for the cost of $600, which you think is fair, correct?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. Very good. We're finished. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's a fair decision. It's a little frustrating because he quoted me $300 to $400 to repair the bike.
I believe it was a fair decision. I believe we kind of came here and got the answer we wanted.
Then the bill came back as $580, and then when I went to pick it up, he presented me with an invoice for over $1,000.
There was a dispute between the payment that he felt was owed and what we were charging.
I'm just like, this is a hostage situation. I'm not going to play that game.
All parties in the matter of Swenson versus Miller. Step to the podium, please.
Doug Swenson is suing his ex-girlfriend, Kathy Miller, for an unpaid loan.
Mr. Swenson?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, sir, the defendant was your girlfriend for a couple of years.
Yes, ma'am.
From when to when?
It was March of 2017, I believe, up until September of 2020.
And it is your claim that just before the breakup, you loaned her $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a bad argument sometime in...
September 16th is when I was.
The answer says on October 18th, he showed up at my house unannounced about the money.
We could have the months.
But you broke up?
Yeah, it was in September.
In September, you broke up?
Yes, ma'am, on the 16th.
Okay. Did you go to her house to collect the money in
Yes,
October?
ma'am. Yes, I did.
Okay. And you went to retrieve, according to you, the money she owed you?
Ma'am, the $500 that she owed me, that's why I went there.
Well, when did she give you any money towards the loan?
Okay.
I thought she gave you that money
Okay,
when you broke up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, you went to retrieve, according to you, the money she owed you.
Yes, ma'am. The $500 that she owed me, that's why I went there.
Well, when did she give you any money towards the loan?
Okay.
I thought she gave you that money
Okay,
when you broke up.
I loaned her $1,000. The night that the big fight went down, that she wound up leaving my house, she gave me $500 that night before she left.
She gave it to you, look, listen to me. She gave it to you voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am. She said exactly to me,
Tell me how that happened.
Yeah. Okay, well, now here's what happened. She went out to her car, got the $500, came and handed it to me.
Is that the way it happened?
We were arguing, and I was being told that I'm not thankful for anything that he does because he came and helped me find the car.
You were arguing. I want to know if you went out voluntarily and gave him $500 towards the $1,000 loan.
I did.
Did you do
because
that?
He was putting it in my face.
Well, that's not what you said here in your answer, which is the only reason I'm hearing this case, because you said he blocked my car in so I couldn't leave. I had no choice but to give him the money. But that's not what you just told me.
That was the next day.
What do you mean that was the next day?
The next morning he came to my house.
I want to know when it was that you gave him the $500.
When he came to my house.
Not at his house.
No.
I don't believe either one of you. Actually, it doesn't make any difference. If you gave him the money, then you owe him the balance of $500, okay? And by giving him the $500, you acknowledge that you owed him $1,000, you gave him $500, you owe him $500. Oh, my God. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And on the next Judge Judy.
I think it was absolutely correct.